Vegan recipes with Pat and Emily.
Thanks for joining me, Emily. Today on It's Vegan, we're going to make a balsamic vinegar reduction. But I like to throw in a few other ingredients to give us a more complex flavor profile. To get started, we are just going to whisk all of our ingredients together. Starting with balsamic vinegar, soy sauce, some fresh ground lemongrass, and here I have sugar, miso, cayenne, and garlic powder. We get our heat turned on. We are gonna start on high. Get myself centered again. Ooh, everybody get yourself centered. Okay, we're gonna whisk this together. And for a balsamic vinegar reduction, we are going to want to take this down 75%. However, we have added other ingredients, so we won't be reducing this the whole way down to 75%. Oh, and I'm gonna get my trusty skewer out, or I got a chopstick this time, and we are going to check our depth. And just to make sure we can see that later, we will darken it. We're going to bring this up to a full boil, then we're going to reduce the heat to a simmer and let it reduce. Alright, it sounds like we're getting close to a boil. Time will tell. Ooh, I'm getting the vapors. Balsamic vinegar vapors, they're potent. And I did use fresh ground lemongrass this time, but the stuff that comes like prepared in a tube works just fine too. We're starting to come to a boil here. So we're gonna get ready to turn it down. I'm just gonna get the heat adjusted here. And because I did use the fresh ground lemongrass in this, we may put it through a sieve to get the pulp out of it. Probably will. I think we might need to reduce the heat a little bit more. We are getting close to the temperature we like to have it reducing at. We do want it to keep bubbling because we are trying to reduce it and cook some of the liquid off. This is about where you're gonna want to have it to reduce. You can see it's bubbling, but I can stir the bubbles out of it. We are 10 minutes in. I am going to give it a stir. And I know we're not there, but we'll do a check. Nope, we have only reduced, geez, I don't know, maybe to there. So, we still have a good ways to go. I keep regulating the temperature to keep our simmer about the same as we go along. We are going on 25 minutes in. And a quick stir. And so we are almost halfway there, folks. The first time I did a balsamic vinegar reduction, I went too far. I didn't realize it would thicken up still as it cooled down.
Would you make a tandy leather?
I did make a tandy leather balsamic vinegar candy chew.
Like probably like super potent.
It was very strong flavored. We're 35 minutes in and we still need to go a tiny bit. You can see it's bubbling up a little bit more, so I am going to reduce my heat again. I turned the heat down, and as we get closer to the end, you're going to want to stir this more frequently to prevent it from sticking and burning. It's better to take your time on this instead of rushing it. This is what it looks like coming off the spoon right now. Oh, and you can see our little pieces of lemongrass in there that we are going to strain out. For a balsamic vinegar reduction, you want to reduce it 75%. But because we have added these other ingredients, we are only going to reduce it down to 1/3 of its original volume. There we go, 1/3. Now we are going to strain out the pieces of lemongrass. This is going to take a little while. This is pretty thick, and we have a lot of lemongrass fibers in there. You get the idea? We're just going to keep running this through our strainer a little bit at a time till we're done. If you want to, totally optional. I'm going to do it. I'm going to add a little water to my pan so I can get all of that out of there. You are going to want to let this chill fully before you use it on anything, and it will still thicken up a little bit. Alright, I pretty much got all of it now. As you can see, we got a lot of lemongrass pulp in there to get out. And I'm stirring it and pressing it down with my spoon to help get all of our balsamic vinegar reduction out of it. So that is pretty good. And this is what we end up with. Doesn't that look nice? Then I'm going to put it in ice to have it chill quicker. This will also help the flavor remain the same. I just wanted to show everyone out there that I do occasionally stir this while it's chilling. Every once in a while I'll come back and give it a stir, and you can see it kind of steams up my container a little bit, so we know it's still hot. We are going to let this chill overnight. It's the next day. We have chilled our balsamic vinegar reduction and switched it into a different container. Now let's plate it up. And you can do this however you want to. Lots of people put these in little squeeze bottles to use to garnish. I didn't have one handy, so this is what we got going on. This is steamed asparagus. I want to lay down a nice bed of asparagus. And I have a few potatoes here. I'm just going to try to make these look pretty on our plate with our asparagus. That turned out pretty cool. Now it's time for the taste test. I know that I like this on asparagus. I don't usually put it on potatoes, but here it goes. What a rich flavor. So delicious. I would put this out to serve like this along with the reduction so people could put some on their plates, unless I was actually plating up the food for people. Thank you for stopping by. I hope to see you again next week.